Let me just give you a tour of the showroom and then I'll give you a tour of the latest addition to the Volks Wizard fleet. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Volks Wizard channel. It's been quite a while since I posted a car collection video. The last one was in December 2021 when I collected my Porsche Boxster GTS from a car auction. Today's car is also a used one, but instead of being thrown the keys in a muddy car park and not knowing if I'm going to get home, I'm collecting a car that's been carefully prepared by an exacting dealership from their state-of-the-art showroom. The only problem is that it's in Blackburn in Lancashire, which is about 4 hours away from here and 3 trains, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be well worth it because it's not just any car. It is the most exclusive front-wheel drive Golf ever made. It is, of course, the record-breaking MK7 Golf GTI Clubsport S. Well guys, welcome to sunny Blackburn. Before we go inside and see the car I've just bought, I want to tell you a little bit about the dealership I have bought it from, because as you probably know, I've bought a lot of cars from a lot of places and this has been one of the best experiences so far. Now the dealership is called Hippo Prestige. They're part of the Hippo Motor Group. They're a family firm. The family have been in the motor trade for 57 years. As well as selling new and used cars, they've also got leasing and finance divisions, and they employ 330 people over 3 different sites. This Blackburn site is their only dealership. It holds on average 400 cars, but they usually have about 1,000 cars in group stock as well. But don't mistake this for a car supermarket. It is most definitely quality above quantity, as you'll see when we go in the showroom. The £15,000 to £30,000 price range is their main bread and butter, but it's not unusual to see more expensive luxury and performance cars on their stock list. To ensure cars get the best preparation possible on site, they have their own body shop and workshop. Each car gets a 275-point check and a warranty-wise warranty. That's the warranty I give when I sell a car because it's one of the best warranties in the business. If Blackburn's too far for you to visit, then of course they offer delivery, but I bet if you're going to buy a car like a Golf GTI Clubsport S, you're going to want to drive it home. Well, before we hit the road in the new car, let me just give you a tour of the showroom and then I'll give you a tour of the latest addition to the Volks Wizard fleet. Okay, let's have a quick look in the Hippo Prestige showroom. Because it's not a main dealership, there are all sorts of different cars. Here, for example, here is an Alfa Giulia Quadrifoglio, a car I have a secret lust for, but I've always been a bit worried about reliability of them. But with a warranty-wise warranty, well, what could possibly go wrong? AMG A45S, which I drove in a Car Wow drag race. I've even driven one of these. Now, I'm not sure this is part of their usual stock. It's possibly one of the director's own cars, but it's an Audi A1 Quattro, very limited production, left-hand drive only, basically the concept car for the Audi S1, made road going. Super cool car. Over there is a Clubsport S we'll come to in a second. Lots and lots of BMWs, Mercedes, Polestars. But probably the most interesting thing about this showroom is the toilet. So I know this might sound a bit weird, but I've been to a lot of dealership toilets and I've never seen one like this. Okay, that's enough toilet. Let's go and have a look at the refreshments area, which is over here. Ignoring the Clubsport S, have a look at that A1 Quattro from this angle though. But drinks are a very important part of the car buying experience, and having a good coffee machine you can just help yourself to is kind of heaven for me. So we have that, we have soft drinks, we have magazines if you're kept waiting, and it's just a very kind of nice atmosphere in here. Over here is another half of the showroom, which looks like the SUV parts. So we've got Audi e-tron, we've got some Mercedes EQC, two of them, and over here, if you're into this kind of car, we have one of the new Range Rovers, which I think belongs to one of the directors here. It's for sale for about £133,000. So I think it's the back of it you really need to see. But it's not the best black car here. That's over there. So let's go and have a look now at my MK7 Golf GTI Clubsport S. This is my brand new MK7 Golf GTI Clubsport S, well, lightly used. It's done about 12,500 miles. They've all got a unique number. 400 were made, 150 came to the UK. Generally, they're between 100 and 250. This is number 242, so quite a late one. It's pretty much identical to number 154, which is the car I bought brand new in December 2016. In fact, it's very easy to mistake this car for that one because they were both from Murray Volkswagen down in Devon, and the registration numbers both begin with WG66. Now, that wasn't the reason I decided to buy this car, but it's a little nerdy thing that I quite like, that it's just very similar to my old car, but it's not the same car. Now, spec-wise, apart from the colour, there's only one option for UK cars, and that was to delete the air conditioning. Thankfully, this car has still got it because it's not going to be in an air-conditioned cocoon in a collection. It's going to get used. It's going to get used in the summer when it's hot, and you don't want to be in a black car with no sunroof and no air conditioning. That would not be fun, and this car is all about fun. It's 100% stock, apart from two little things. Normally these cars come with Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres. Great tyres for the track, but they're a bit compromised on the road in the cold and with standing water. And it kind of puts you off driving such a precious car when the weather's not great, because you can aquaplane off the road quite easily. So sensibly, a previous owner has ditched those and fitted Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres, though they're actually going to come off very, very soon, because I'm going to fit the incredible Goodyear Eagle F1 Supersport. They're pretty well matched when it comes to reviews, but TyreReviews.com said the Supersport was more fun, and that's what we want with this car. The wind deflectors are not really my thing as well, but I think actually they look good on this car, so they're going to be on eBay probably this evening. Okay, let's just have a quick recap on the standard spec of the Clubsport S. Unlike every other Golf, it was only available in three colours, proper GTI colours: pure white, tornado red, and this deep black pearl effect, which, even though it was a metallic pearl effect, you didn't pay a premium for it. Externally, apart from the little S on the decals, it's pretty much the same as a Clubsport Edition 40. You've got the same aerodynamically honed front bumper, you've got the same sort of pronounced tailgate spoiler, and both work to reduce lift and increase downforce, which makes the car more stable at really, really high speeds. The only real difference is that whilst the Clubsport Edition 40 got rear parking sensors, not fronts, the Clubsport S, rather annoyingly, gets neither. So you have to be really, really careful when you park this very precious car up. Wheels for the UK market were silver Pretorias. For other markets, you could choose to have them in black. In those wheels, we have the 340mm discs, so the same size as the Golf GTI Performance, the Golf R, and the Clubsport Edition 40, but on the Clubsport S, like on the later TCR and Mark 8 Golf GTI Clubsport, they are two-piece, which helps dissipate heat, which means they last a little bit longer on a track, which is obviously quite important with a Clubsport S. Now, let's have a look inside, because that's where the real magic is. Now, sitting here and looking at the dashboard, you could be mistaken for thinking you're in pretty much any other Golf, apart from we have the lovely Alcantara steering wheel with the dead ahead marker, which is also standard on the Clubsport Edition 40. Unlike that car though, we don't have a unique number that's on a plaque stuck to the door, which was just an afterthought for the UK market. No other Edition 40s anywhere else in the world have that plaque. Instead, we have the Clubsport S's unique number etched into the gear stick surround, and that's the same wherever in the world the Clubsport S is sold. Of course, we have these incredible Recaro bucket seats. They are easily the best seats fitted to any Golf. They're optional on the Clubsport Edition 40 and they really increase the sense of occasion with that car. They are standard on the Clubsport S because of its track bias. You need as much support as you can get. I could not imagine a Clubsport S with leather, for example. But the real unique bit of the Clubsport S is what happens behind here. Not only do we not have any back seats, we do not have a spare wheel, we do not have a toolkit, we do not have a boot floor, and we do not have a parcel shelf, all in the name of weight saving. Under the Clubsport S's bonnet, we have the Golf R's 310 horsepower EA888 Gen 3 4-cylinder petrol turbo engine. In fact, the Clubsport S got it a few months before the Golf R did. As you probably know, it was wound back in the Golf R to 300 horsepower for emissions, but every Clubsport S is 310, and in such a light package. And I think with actually much more aggressive engine mapping, this really is a very exhilarating car to drive, as I will show you very shortly. All Clubsport S's had a 6-speed manual gearbox. You might think an automatic would be quicker shifting and therefore might give you a quicker lap time at the Nordschleife, but you don't actually change gear that much, and it was felt the extra weight would affect the lap time more. So every Clubsport S is manual. I think that's really good because it makes it much more of an engaging driver's car rather than a drag strip number chaser. Every Clubsport S has the VAQ electronically controlled limited slip differential. It's not particularly exotic. You get it on Golf GTI Performance, you get it on Clubsport Edition 40. It's really crucial though, because it does mean you can use all that power and 380 Newton meters of torque. It's not as effective as four-wheel drive from a standing start because you can still spin both wheels, but once you get going, this car will leave a Golf R for dead. Hopefully I've whetted your appetite sufficiently now, so let's go and drive my Mark 7 Golf GTI Clubsport number 242 for the very first time. Well guys, as you can probably tell, it's the day after I collected my Mark 7 Golf GTI Clubsport S. We left Blackburn at about 6:30. It was wet, it was dark, I didn't know where I was going, it wasn't a good idea to film then, but we did 156 very enjoyable miles, mainly on the M6. Took 2 3/4 hours to get home, and 32 to the gallon, which isn't terrible by any means, and it was quite a fast drive because it's quite late at night. I'm back home on the roads I know really well, but I don't want to give you any first drive impressions just yet. We'll save that for a video on some very special UK roads. For now, I just want to talk about what I'm going to do with the car, what I'm going to do to the car, and which cars are going to make way for this one. Now, a lot of these Clubsport S's are going into collections and not getting used. I can understand why people are doing that. It's cool with me. Preserving these for future generations is no bad thing, especially with the electric Armageddon that is heading our way, but I'm determined to use this car properly. I didn't use my first one properly. I did 6,000 miles in it. So I did use it, but I didn't go abroad, I didn't do any track days. We're going to put all that right this year. And how with this car? Firstly, we're going to go to the Worthersee GTI Festival in Austria, the biggest global gathering of GTI fans, around a beautiful lake. That's about 1,000 miles trip, and then come back via Italy, maybe France, I don't know yet, but definitely Worthersee and Venice are on that agenda. And then we're going to go to the Nürburgring for definite, do some laps there. This is a Nürburgring lap record car after all. I know I'm not a lap record driver, but I'm sure I can still have some safe fun there. Hopefully we'll track down the lap record driver, Benny Leuchter. I interviewed him in 2017 for Volkswagen Drive magazine. He's a good bloke and he's often at the ring racing, so maybe we could do an interview for the channel. Maybe he can sign bits of the car. And I'll do track days in the UK as well, and I'll just use the car pretty normally, really. Which brings me on to the modifications. To make it a little bit more usable, I want to fit a rear view camera because we don't have parking sensors. I don't want to fit parking sensors because I want the car to look stock, but camera is pretty hidden until it kind of comes out, so that's cool. I want to fit Apple CarPlay. This head unit just needs activation, so I'll go to VW Retrofit in Redditch, they can do that. And I probably will have to upgrade the brakes, I imagine, because these aren't really that much cop. They'll do a couple of laps at the ring and that's it. So Racing Line Stage 3 is my plan for this car, a bit bigger than the ones that are on the Cupra 280. Also I'm going to fit Racing Line's R600 air intake that I've had on the Mark 8 Clubsport and the Leon Cupra 280. I'm going to fit their inlet and hose as well, which I've not fitted to a car before, so that should give it a little bit more character up front, but it's already quite a fruity car. And then which cars are going? Well, unfortunately the Seat Leon Cupra 280 is going. That's been sold to a guy called Henry. I call that the thinking man's Clubsport S, so the fact I'm selling it to buy a Clubsport S doesn't look good for me, but it is what it is. It's definitely a heart, not a head purchase. That's such an amazing car. When it came out in 2014, it really did knock the Golf GTI for 6, 300 horsepower and front wheel drive VAQ diff, and that my car manual 3-door with DCC is a real nice tool, and it's still really usable, a lot quieter than this car. Also sadly the Corrado VR6 is going. I haven't used it in 2022 really. I doubt I'll use it in 2023 with the Mark II here, and I just prefer sort of the Mark II. There's much more I can do to the Mark II than the Corrado, so it just keeps me occupied, keeps me out of mischief. So I'll do a video on the Corrado when I know how much it is. Don't contact me before then, because I don't know how much it's going to be, and that might, well, almost definitely will influence whether you want to buy it. So yeah, that's it guys. Big thanks to the guys at Hippo Prestige for making this purchase really enjoyable. It's very unusual for such a big dealership to be just so good. So yeah, big up to the team, and it's a big team, and that's why they seem to be so efficient. They do work really well together. So yeah, if you're looking for a used car in the 15 to 30,000 range or even higher, just check out the website. I'll put a link in the description of the video below. As ever guys, big thanks to you for watching this Volks Wizard video. Keep commenting, keep subscribing, and I'll see you for the next one very soon.